The night was supposed to be quiet. Ethan Gray liked quiet nights. He lived alone in a small wooden cabin deep inside the forest of Colony 47, far away from noisy cities and complicated people. His life was simple: hunt, cook, repair tools, and sleep. But fate never asks before knocking. And that night, it didn't just knock, it shattered his peace. Ethan was fixing a broken lantern when he heard something outside. A soft thud. Then a second one, heavier. Like a body falling, he froze and listened. The forest was usually full of insects and wind, but right now, everything was silent, as if the whole world was holding its breath. Ethan picked up his flashlight, slowly opened the door. The beam of light cut through darkness and fell upon a girl lying on the ground. Not a human girl, an alien. She looked young, maybe in her late teens by human standards. Her skin glowed faint blue, like moonlight trapped underwater. Her long hair was silver white, tangled and dusty. Strange marks covered her arms, thin glowing cuts that pulsed like weak stars. Ethan dropped to his knees immediately. Hey, can you hear me?" he whispered. The girl's eyes opened a little. They were large, bright purple, shining even in darkness. She looked at him as if she had been searching for him for a long time. Her lips trembled. "Human, please, don't let them take me." And then she fainted. Ethan's heart jumped. He looked around the forest. Something felt wrong. The air was heavy. The trees were still. Even the wind refused to move. That's when he heard "Ita-ah," deep crack of a branch. Something big was out there, something watching. Ethan didn't waste another second. He lifted the alien girl into his arms and rushed inside his cabin, locking the door behind him. Her body was cold, too cold, and her wounds. They weren't normal. They glowed weakly, as if the light inside her was dying. "What happened to you?" he muttered. He placed her on his small bed. The glowing cuts on her arms were slowing down, dimming. Her breathing was getting worse. Ethan grabbed his medical kit. Bandages, ointments, alcohol wipes, normal human supplies. He tried cleaning one wound, but the glowing cut reacted strangely. The light flickered and retreated from the touch of his tools. It was not healing. It was breaking. The girl suddenly winced in pain, her face twisting. "No. Stay with me," Ethan said, panic rising. He didn't know what to do. Human medicine wasn't working at all. Then something strange happened. When Ethan touched her wrist with his bare hand, our wound glowed brighter. The pulsing became stronger. The shimmering skin around the cut tightened and began healing slowly but clearly. Ethan blinked. "What?" His touch was doing something impossible. The girl's breathing became stable. Her heartbeat, which was fading, now thumped louder. Ethan kept his hand on her skin, confused and scared. "Who are you?" he whispered. Her eyes opened weakly again. She stared at him, not like a stranger, but like someone recognizing a long-lost connection. "You healed me," she whispered. "You touched me, and now you're bound." Ethan repeated in confusion. Her purple eyes softened with relief. "In my culture, the one who heals becomes ours. You touched my life. You saved it. You belong to me now." Ethan's mouth went dry. "What do you mean, belong?" Before she could answer, a deep growl echoed outside. Ethan jumped, grabbing his rifle. What the hell was that? Another voice, rough, angry, not human, growled. "Give us the runaway girl, human, and we will let you live." Ethan's blood went cold. He looked at the alien girl. She shook her head weakly. "They hunt me. For power, for who my family is." Her voice cracked. "If you heal me, my people will come. You will not face them alone." As if on cue, another sound came from the forest. Light footsteps. 3 of them, soft, graceful, female whispers, calling his name, Ethan. He stepped back, horrified. What is happening? How do they know my name? The girl's breathing got stronger. Her wounds glowed fully now, completely healed. She sat up slowly, her voice steadier. My sisters. They feel what I feel. They know who touched me. They know who saved me. Her glowing eyes met his. They're coming for you. For us, Ethan stared at her in disbelief. He just wanted a quiet life. He didn't want aliens, danger, hunters, or strange glowing girls claiming him. But tonight, he had stepped into a world he didn't understand. Outside, the hunters growled again, and the sisters' voices came closer. The girl reached for his hand gently. Do not fear, human. You healed me. Now I am yours. Ethan swallowed hard as the cabin lights flickered. And then 3 glowing shadows appeared outside his window. Her sisters had arrived. Asterisk. Ethan had seen strange things on Colony 47. But nothing compared to what stood outside his window now. 3 glowing figures. 3 pairs of bright purple eyes. 3 alien sisters. Staring directly at him, the forest outside his cabin shimmered with their presence. Their skin glowed faint blue like the girl he had saved. But each sister carried a different pattern of light across her body lines. Symbols, marks that looked ancient, almost royal. The youngest of the 3 stepped closer, her soft voice drifting through the cold air. Ethan Gray. You touched our sister. Ethan felt his chest tighten. How do all of you know my name? The girl inside, still weak, but sitting up, answered before they could. We share a bond, she whispered. The moment you healed me, they felt it, healed you. Ethan repeated. I didn't do anything special, just touched, that was enough. The alien girl met his eyes. You awakened a lifelink. A binding? Ethan stared at her, stunned. Binding. I didn't agree to anything. But before he could say another word, the cabin door rattled violently, not from the sisters, from something darker, a deep, monstrous growl shook the wood. The hunters, Ethan raised his rifle instinctively. The girl grabbed his hand. No. They are not after you. They want me, for who I am. The shadows outside shifted again. Heavy footsteps circled the cabin. Ethan felt sweat run down his back. Then a voice cold cruel spoke from the dark. Surrender the royal child. Your touch does not make her yours. Human, you are nothing. Royal child. Ethan looked at the alien girl beside him. She avoided his eyes. Royal? He whispered. You never said anything about being royalty. She lowered her head. I had no time. The door shook harder. Dust fell from the ceiling. You should have told me. Ethan hissed. I would have thought twice before healing. She looked up sharply, hurt in her glowing purple eyes. You would have left me to die. Ethan stopped. Her voice wasn't angry. It was soft, almost broken, and he remembered her lying on the ground, cold, trembling. Asking for help? No, he said quietly. I wouldn't. Before she could answer, the old wooden door cracked. A large claw-black, thick, and twice the size of a human hand tore through the top panel. The girl gasped. The hunters were done waiting. Ethan jumped back, rifle ready. But the alien sisters outside moved instantly. The tallest sister placed her glowing hand against the cabin wall. A wave of shimmering blue energy spread across the wood. The claw was pushed out, and the door sealed itself with light. Ethan's jaw dropped. What did you just do? The tall sister spoke, her voice deep and calm. We protect what our sister has chosen. Chosen. Ethan's throat tightened. I didn't choose anything. The middle sister finally stepped into view. Her hair flowed like silver smoke, her eyes sharp and intelligent. You touched her wound with pure intent. No fear, no desire, no price. Our laws recognize that as a life claim. Ethan blinked. Life claim. That sounds like marriage. The three sisters looked at him. The room went silent. The alien girl on the bed whispered, "In our culture, it is more than marriage." Ethan almost fainted. More? What could possibly be more? The middle sister answered softly, "It means you are now part of her line, and we protect our line with everything." Ethan raised both hands helplessly. "I'm not ready to be part of any line, human or alien." But there was no time to argue. The hunters outside roared again. A second claw slammed against the wall, harder this time. The light barrier flickered. The youngest sister stepped forward, her voice trembling. "They are strong, stronger than before." The tall sister nodded. "They have sensed the bonding. They wish to break it." Ethan frowned. "Why do they care about me?" "I'm just a human." "You are not just anything," the alien girl whispered. "You healed a royal heir. Humans are rare. Your touch is rare. You changed something inside me. That power. They want it." Ethan swallowed hard. "So they want me dead. Or captured." The middle sister corrected. "Alive is more useful." "That's not better." Ethan snapped. Another slam hit the wall and the cabin shook. The sisters exchanged looks, silent, quick, and worried. The alien girl reached for Ethan's arm. Her voice soft but urgent. "You must choose now." "Choose what?" "Stay bound with me, and my sisters will protect you. Or break the bond." "How do I break it?" She closed her eyes. "You leave me. You walk outside. You step away from me willingly." Ethan froze. "If you do that," the tall sister added, "the hunters will take her. She will die, and you will live." Ethan felt like his lungs turned to stone. Save himself, or stay with her and face hunters that might kill him. It wasn't a small choice. It wasn't an easy one. The alien girl whispered, voice trembling, "I will not blame you if you leave. You never asked for this?" Ethan stared at her glowing eyes, scared, weak, but trusting him. Another roar shook the cabin. Ethan made his decision. He stepped in front of her. Raising his rifle, "I'm not leaving," he said firmly. "If they want you, they'll have to go through me." The sisters bowed their heads in respect, and the hunters outside screamed with rage. The cabin walls shook again, harder than before. Dust fell from the ceiling, and the wooden frame creaked under the pressure. Ethan tightened his grip on the rifle. His heartbeat pounded in his ears. But he didn't back away from the alien girl or her sisters. Outside, the hunters growled deep, rumbling sounds that made the air vibrate. The tall sister stepped forward. "We cannot keep the barrier up forever," she warned. "They grow stronger with every attempt." The youngest sister's glowing hands trembled. They smell her healing. They smell the bond. Askew. Ethan shot a quick look at the girl behind him, the one he had healed. Her breathing was steady now, but her fear was clear. He whispered, "Why do they want you so badly?" She met his eyes. "I am the youngest daughter of the Ziari royal lineage. My blood carries power. Whoever controls me controls the throne." Ethan blinked. "So basically, you're a princess." Her cheeks flushed faint blue. "In your words?" "Yes." He exhaled sharply. "Of course. Why wouldn't a princess collapse at my door? Why not add hunters and glowing sisters while we're at it?" The alien girl looked down, ashamed. "I am sorry I brought danger." He shook his head. "Hey, none of this is your fault." Before she could answer, a violent crash cracked through the cabin. The front window shattered, and a massive dark shape slammed into the light barrier. The shield flickered. A monstrous creature pressed its face against the barrier-pale skin. Black horns and red eyes burning like fire. The creature growled, "Human, you cannot protect her. She belongs to us." Ethan felt rage rise in him. "No one belongs to you." The hunter slammed again. The barrier shook. The middle sister raised her voice. "We need to move. Staying in this cabin is suicide." Ethan nodded. "Where do we go?" The tall sister pointed toward the forest path. "Our ship is hidden near the cliffs. If we reach it, we can escape." Ethan glanced at the alien girl. "Can you walk?" She nodded slowly. "I can try." Ethan helped her stand. Her body was still weak, but she leaned on him. Trusting his support, the sisters gathered around them, forming a glowing circle. The tall sister whispered, "On my signal." "Run." The youngest sister looked nervous. "What if the hunters catch our scent?" "They already have," the middle one replied. "We only need to buy enough time." The tall sister lowered her hand. The barrier vanished. Ethan grabbed the alien girl's arm. "Go." They burst through the broken door and sprinted into the forest. The ground shook behind them. The hunters roared and charged. Branches whipped against Ethan's face. Leaves crunched under their feet. The dark forest ahead was thick, cold, and endless. The alien girl stumbled. Ethan caught her instantly. "I've got you," he whispered. "Don't slow down." "I'm trying," she breathed weakly. "My power. It's still returning." The middle sister shouted from behind, "Keep moving. They're gaining." A giant shadow leaped between the trees. One of the hunters cut them off. Its claws glowed red, dripping with heat. The tall sister reacted instantly, throwing a wave of blue energy. The hunter flew backward, smashing into a tree. But more appeared. 3, 4, 5. Ethan stopped, lifting his rifle. "Run ahead." He yelled to the sisters. "I'll hold them off." The alien girl grabbed his hand desperately. "No, you are bound to me. If you fight alone, they will destroy you." "I'm not letting them reach you," Ethan said firmly. "That's final." Before she could argue, a hunter lunged at Ethan. Its claws sliced through the air. Ethan fired. The blast hit its shoulder. The creature howled, stumbling back, but the hunters were fast, too fast. 2 more jumped forward. Suddenly, the youngest sister slid beside Ethan, her hands glowing bright pink. "Duck." Ethan dropped to the ground. A burst of pink light exploded forward. Knocking both hunters away, the girl gasped, "You saved our sister. We will not let you fall." Ethan stood up, stunned. That was incredible. The youngest sister smiled weakly. "You're part of us now." They ran again, deeper into the forest. The trees thinned as they reached the cliffs. Moonlight poured over the rocky ground. The middle sister pointed ahead. "There, our ship." A sleek silver craft was hidden behind boulders, shimmering with faint blue runes. But before they could reach it, a massive roar shook the cliff. The biggest hunter, twice the size of the rest, landed in front of them. Its horns curled like black flames. Its red eyes locked onto Ethan. "You touched the royal air," it snarled. "Your life ends here." The alien girl stepped in front of Ethan, trembling but brave. "You will not touch him," she whispered. The hunter growled. "Then I will take you both." Ethan moved beside her. Raising his rifle, "You'll take none of us," he said. The sisters joined them, forming a glowing formation. Light crackled around their hands. The hunter crouched, ready to strike. The night held its breath. Ethan whispered to the alien girl, "Stay behind me." She answered, "No, human. We stand together." The giant hunter roared and charged, and the world exploded into light and fury. Asterisk. The giant hunter charged like a living mountain. His claws blazed red, carving lines of fire through the air. Ethan had no time to think, only react. He pushed the alien girl slightly behind him and raised his rifle, firing point blank. The bullet hit the creature's face. It didn't even blink. The hunter roared, shaking the ground beneath their feet. Its shadow fell over Ethan like a dark cloud, ready to swallow him whole. Then, a burst of blue light exploded at the last second. The tall sister stepped forward, her eyes glowing fiercely. "Move back, human." Her hands crackled with energy as she slammed them together. A shockwave burst outward, throwing the giant hunter a few feet away. But the creature dug its claws into the dirt and stood right back up. Stronger, angrier, hungrier. "It won't stop," the middle sister warned. "It wants her. And now you too." Ethan tightened his grip on his rifle. "Let it come." The alien girl tugged his arm gently. "You are brave," she whispered, "but this one, he is ancient, a war beast. He was made to kill my kind." Ethan swallowed. "Good to know. Anything else I should worry about?" "Yes," the youngest sister said softly. "He is never lost." The hunter crouched low. Its muscles tightened. Its eyes locked directly onto Ethan as if the princess and her sisters didn't exist. "You carry her bond," it growled. "You are the key I need." Ethan stepped forward, despite the burning fear in his legs. "You're not taking anyone." The alien girl grabbed his wrist with trembling fingers. "You must stay near me. Our bond makes you stronger, but only if you are close." "Stronger how?" Ethan asked, but he didn't need the answer. The hunter leaped. A flash of movement. A scream. A hit like a falling building. The giant creature slammed into an invisible barrier around Ethan and the girl, an energy shield he didn't know existed. Light burst outward like a small star. Ethan stumbled, shocked. The alien girl gasped. The bond awakened. The hunter snarled, anger rising. "It protects the human." Impossible. Ethan looked at his hands. Soft blue patterns shimmered faintly on his skin where she had grabbed him. "What? What is this?" he whispered. The middle sister answered quickly, her voice excited and afraid at the same time. "You activated a royal shield. Only a bonded partner can do that. You just did what even warriors struggle to learn." Ethan blinked. "Wait, so I'm doing alien magic now," the tall sister said sharply. "Less talking, more surviving." The hunter attacked again. This time the shield flickered, but held. Blue sparks flew around Ethan and the girl, crackling like lightning. The force pushed the hunter back again. But not far, only a few feet. "He is breaking it," the youngest sister warned. The princess, still holding Ethan, looked up at him with glowing eyes. "You must focus," she whispered. "Think about protecting me. Think only of that." Ethan stared at her. Her voice was soft but steady, her hand warm in his. Something inside him shifted like a locked door opening. He squeezed her hand. "I won't let anything hurt you." The shield flared brighter. The hunter roared in frustration. Enough. He leaped high into the air, striking downward with both flaming claws. The shield shattered with a thunderous crack. Ethan felt the impact like a punch to the chest. He fell to one knee, gasping. The princess caught him. "No, Ethan." The giant hunter lunged directly at them. The sisters reacted together. The tall sister raised a barrier. The middle sister fired a beam of blinding silver. The youngest sister threw a flash burst of pink light. 3 colors collided with the monster. For a moment, It stopped, but the beast pushed through. Shaking off the attacks like dust, Ethan stood up again, pain burning through his chest. He raised his rifle butt. The hunter slammed it aside. Ethan was unarmed. The monster towered over him. The alien girl cried out, "Stay behind me." "No," Ethan growled through clenched teeth. "I'm not letting you face him alone." The hunter grinned, terrifying, jagged smile. "Foolish human. You are weak." Ethan stepped closer to the girl, touching her arm again. Blue fire spread across his skin. "No," he said calmly. "Not when I'm with her." Okay. Energy burst outward 10 times stronger than before. The princess gasped. "You're channeling my core. How is that possible?" Ethan couldn't answer. He didn't know himself. He only knew one thing. He refused to run. The hunter roared and swung down. Ethan raised his glowing hand. Light exploded. A beam of bright blue shot outward, blasting the giant hunter across the clearing. The creature slammed into a rock wall so hard the earth cracked. Silence. The sisters stared at Ethan, stunned. "How? Did you do that?" The youngest whispered. Ethan looked at his hand, still glowing blue. "I don't know," he admitted. "But I think I'm connected to her more than we realized." The princess stood beside him, trembling not from fear, but from something deeper. "You used my power," she whispered, "like it was your own." Ethan touched her shoulder gently. "Are you okay?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, but Ethan." She looked at him with wide, glowing eyes. "That was only the commander. The hunters will now come in full numbers." Ethan sighed. "Great. More monsters. Exactly what I wanted today." The tall sister pointed at the ship. "Urgently, we must leave. Now, the real battle has not even begun." Ethan grabbed the princess's hand. "Then let's finish this." Together, and with hunters gathering in the shadows, they ran toward the ship. The forest was no longer a quiet place. It felt alive, shaking, rumbling, thundering with every step the hunters took. Their growls echoed between the trees like rolling storms, getting louder and closer. Ethan ran alongside the alien princess, his hand wrapped tightly around hers. Her sisters followed close behind, forming a protective line. The silver ship glimmered ahead, hidden between sharp rocks, half buried under vines and moss. "We're almost there." The youngest sister shouted, but the night had other plans. A roar boomed behind them, louder than before, deeper, angrier. Ethan turned his head for a second. Through the trees, dozens of red eyes blinked to life. At least 10 hunters. Maybe more. The middle sister gasped. They called the entire pack. "They want the human alive." "Not good," Ethan muttered. "Not good at all." The princess stumbled. Her legs were still weak from the earlier wounds. Ethan caught her before she fell. "You okay?" He searched her face for any sign of pain. She nodded slowly, breath uneven. "I can keep going, if you stay close." "I'm not leaving your side," Ethan said softly. Her cheeks glowed faint blue. Another roar behind them snapped the moment. "Move." The tall sister shouted. They made it to the clearing where the ship lay hidden. Up close, the craft looked like a smooth silver leaf-long, sleek, built for speed. Symbols glowed faintly along its hull. Ethan had never seen anything like it. The middle sister pressed her palm against the side. The runes lit up. "Access granted." A smooth voice said in an alien language. The door slid open with a hiss. But before they could step inside, Hunter lunged out of the shadows. "Down." Ethan shouted. The tall sister reacted first. She pushed the group forward and formed a barrier behind them. The hunter slammed into it and bounced back with a screech. Blue sparks exploded, lighting up the trees. "Go," she yelled, straining as the barrier cracked. "I'll follow." Ethan pulled the princess inside the ship as the doors slid wider. She clung to him not out of fear, but because her strength was fading fast as soon as all four were inside. The door sealed shut with a metallic thud. The ship HUMMED. The sisters rushed to their stations, touching glowing symbols on the walls. The entire vessel came alive with light. Ethan helped the princess sit in a soft chair that adjusted to her shape. "You need rest," he said. She shook her head weakly. "No. If I sleep now, the hunters will catch us." "You're shaking," Ethan said, kneeling in front of her. "You're exhausted. Let me help." Her fingers touched his cheek gently. "You already did. More than you know." Before he could respond, the ship jolted violently. The middle sister shouted from the front. "They're climbing onto the hull." Ethan stood immediately. "What? They can cling to a flying ship?" "Yes," the tall sister answered. "They were bred for war, for hunting, for killing," the youngest sister added, "and they want you now. You used royal power, something only our people can do." Ethan frowned. "So I became valuable." "No," the princess whispered, staring at him with glowing eyes. "You became dangerous to them." The ship vibrated as something clawed the outer shell. The metal shrieked. The tall sister swore in her language. "Hold on," she warned. "This will be rough." The ship blasted upward. Ethan fell back, grabbing the princess so she didn't slide off the chair. The craft soared through the trees, branches scraping the hull. Hunters screamed as some were thrown off, but others held on, their claws like steel hooks. The engines roared inside. Lights flickered. The youngest sister grabbed the controls. "They're draining the hull energy. We need to shake them off." "How?" Ethan yelled. The tall sister smirked. "Human? Ever been in a dive?" Before Ethan could say no, the ship nosedived sharply. Everyone was thrown forward. The princess cried out in surprise and gripped Ethan's jacket. He wrapped an arm around her shoulders. Outside, hunters lost their grip and fell into the trees below. The middle sister lifted the ship sharply upward again. A few hunters were still clinging to the rear. Then a deep, monstrous roar echoed from above. Ethan looked out the window. His heart dropped. A black silhouette blocked the moonlight. A flying creature, wings wide as a house, claws extended. Its eyes glowed red. "What the hell is that?" Ethan shouted. "A sky hunter," the tall sister answered grimly. "They sent their elite." The creature dove toward the ship. Its claws tore through the upper hull. Sparks flew everywhere. Warning lights flashed red. The youngest sister cried out, shields failing. The princess grabbed Ethan's hand again. "Stay with me. Don't let go." He held her tightly. "I'm right here," the tall sister shouted. "Brace yourselves." The sky hunter broke through the top plate and screeched inside just as the ship soared out of the forest and into open sky. The battle was no longer on the ground, it was now in the skies. Above the alien world, *. The ship burst out of the forest canopy and shot into the open sky. But the danger followed them upward like a nightmare with wings. The sky hunter clung to the top of the ship. Its massive wings spread wide, beating against the wind like thunder. Its red eyes glowed through the cracked hull as it forced its head inside, screeching loud enough to shake Ethan's bones. "Get it off." Ethan shouted. The tall sister was already at the controls of the defense panel. "I'm trying. Its claws are fused to our hull." The ship swerved violently. Everyone was thrown sideways. Ethan grabbed the princess before she hit the floor. Her arms wrapped around his neck, trembling. "I'm slowing you down," she whispered, ashamed. "No," Ethan said firmly. "You're the reason I'm still fighting." Her eyes softened, glowing brighter for a moment. before the ship jolted again, the Sky Hunter slammed its claws deeper through the roof. Sparks burst, raining down like falling stars. The youngest sister screamed from the pilot's seat, "Shields at 20%. If it breaks through fully, we're dead." The middle sister turned sharply. "We have to shake it off. Prepare for a vertical climb." Ethan braced himself beside the princess as the ship suddenly shifted upward, rocketing straight into the sky. Gravity pressed them down hard. The Sky Hunter shrieked in rage but refused to let go. It was stronger, faster, designed for killing. Royal bloodlines. Ethan's chest tightened. How do we stop this thing? The princess grabbed his hand, her voice weak but determined. "You must focus again. Like before. You can channel my power." Ethan blinked. "That wasn't something I focused on. It just happened 'cause you wanted to protect me," she whispered. That desire awakened the bond. Ethan looked into her glowing eyes, filled with fear, trust, and something deeper. He took a breath. "Okay, tell me what to do." She placed his hand gently over her heart. A soft blue light pulsed there. Ethan's skin tingled. "Think only of keeping me alive," she whispered. Let that thought fill everything. Ethan closed his eyes, but before he could focus, the Sky Hunter smashed one of its massive wings into the ship's side. Metal screamed. The craft spun wildly. The tall sister shouted, "We're losing altitude." The ship spiraled downward. Ethan held the princess tightly against him, shielding her with his body. Below, mountains rushed closer. Trees, cliffs. Death, the youngest sister, pulled the controls desperately. "Hold on. I can stabilize it." The Sky Hunter stuck its head further inside, jaws opening wide. Rows of razor-sharp teeth glistening. It aimed straight at Ethan. The princess screamed, "No." The beast lunged. Ethan reacted without thinking. He wrapped both arms around the princess, pulling her close, and the bond. Ignited blue fire erupted across his skin. Dots the impact hit them like lightning. Ah! Shockwave burst outward, blasting the Sky Hunter backward through the hull. Its scream tore through the air as it was thrown hundreds of meters away. The ship jerked upward again. Stabilizing, the tall sister gasped. "You unlocked a pulse wave." The youngest stared in awe. "A human shouldn't be able to do that." Ethan opened his eyes slowly. His entire body glowed faintly blue. The princess touched his face softly. "You saved us." Again, Ethan exhaled shakily. "I'm starting to think I wasn't meant for a quiet life." But the danger wasn't over. The ship's warning lights flashed red. "Hull integrity failing," the computer voice warned. The ship shook violently as it climbed higher. Ethan saw smoke trailing from the damaged top. "Where are we going?" he asked. The tall sister replied, "To the only place they cannot reach us." "Which is?" Ethan pressed. The middle sister looked at him seriously. "Our mother's sanctuary." The princess tensed. "The Queen's sanctuary," she whispered. The tall sister nodded. "Mother will know how to protect the bond. And how to use his power." Ethan frowned. Use it for what?" The middle sister answered quietly, "To win the war." Ethan froze. "What war?" The tall sister met his eyes. "The fall of our empire." The hunters were only the beginning. The ship suddenly broke through the cloud layer. Ethan felt the pressure shift as they ascended into the cold upper sky. The view outside became breathtaking. Blue fading into darkness, stars scattering across the horizon. "We're almost at the stratosphere." The youngest sister reported. "That won't stop the Sky Hunter," the tall sister warned. "He can fly beyond the clouds." "Exactly," a voice growled from behind them. Everyone whipped around. Ethan's blood ran cold. The Sky Hunter burned. Battered, furious, clung to the rear thrusters outside. Its wings spread like black fire. Its red eyes locked directly on Ethan. "You dare challenge me?" Ethan lifted his rifle with shaking hands. "You bet I do." The princess grabbed him. "No, you cannot face him alone. You must channel the bond again." Ethan swallowed hard. "I don't know if I can control it." "You don't need control," she whispered. "You only need to choose." The Sky Hunter tore another hole in the hull. Wind screamed. Through the cabin, the sisters steadied themselves. The princess touched her forehead to Ethan's. "Choose me," she murmured, "and the bond will obey." Their power pulsed together. Light erupted around them. The Sky Hunter lunged, and the world shook. The Sky Hunter roared as it forced half its massive body through the torn hull. Winds howled through the ship. Alarms screamed. Lights flickered. Everything was chaos. Its burning red eyes locked on Ethan as if the rest of the universe didn't exist. "You carry her bond," it growled. "You will die first." Ethan stood frozen. Every instinct screamed to run, hide, survive. But the princess stepped closer, her hand finding his. "You're not alone," she whispered. "Let the bond answer." The ship jerked violently. The youngest sister shouted from the pilot seat, "We're losing altitude. We need to finish this now." The Sky Hunter lunged. The princess pressed her forehead against Ethan's temple. "Choose me. Choose us." Ethan didn't fully understand the bond. He didn't know the rules of alien magic or the depth of their connection. But he knew one thing. Since the moment she collapsed at his door, he had chosen her already. Ethan closed his eyes and whispered, "I choose you." The bond exploded. Blue fire erupted from Ethan's chest, spreading through his arms and into the princess's hands. Their connected glow burst outward like two stars colliding. The sisters shielded their eyes. The Sky Hunter howled in pain. Impossible. A human cannot channel royal power. Ethan stepped forward with the princess beside him, their hands intertwined. He wasn't glowing blue anymore. He was burning blue, a living beacon of energy. The princess's voice echoed, layered with her own and something older. "Ancient, you challenged the royal line." Ethan's voice joined hers, deeper, resonating with power, and the royal line answered. The Sky Hunter slashed with its massive claws, but the attack never reached them. A shimmering blue wall formed instantly. Holding his claws inches away, Ethan stared in shock. "I did that." The princess squeezed his hand. "We did that." The Sky Hunter roared again, pushing the barrier with monstrous strength. "You cannot keep this power. Humans are weak. Humans are nothing." Ethan's fear turned into anger. "No," he said firmly, stepping forward. "We help people, even when we're afraid, even when the enemy is bigger." The barrier pushed the Sky Hunter back an inch. The creature snarled. "You dare." Ethan interrupted sharply. "I'm sick of you calling humans weak." The bond surged. Blue light wrapped around the Sky Hunter like chains of lightning, binding its wings, claws, and throat. The creature fought, screamed, and twisted, but the energy tightened with every movement. The princess looked at Ethan with awe. "You're controlling it, completely." Ethan shook his head. "I'm not controlling anything. I'm protecting you." That made the power even stronger. The Sky Hunter screeched as the blue chains lifted it off the floor. Pulling it away from the ship's interior, the sisters watched in stunned silence. The tall sister whispered, "He created a starlight bind, something our elite warriors struggle to master." The youngest added, "And he did it without training." The Sky Hunter thrashed violently. "You cannot contain me forever." Ethan lifted his glowing hand. I don't need forever. He pushed his hand forward. The blue chains hurled the sky hunter out of the ship. The creature fell through clouds, spinning helplessly. Wings burning with blue fire. The ship doors sealed instantly behind it. Silence returned. The ship steadied. The alarms faded. Ethan collapsed to one knee, panting. The princess caught him before he fell. You did it, she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. You won. Ethan stared at his hands, still glowing faintly blue. What? Am I becoming? The princess kneeled in front of him, both hands on his cheeks. You're becoming bonded. Fully, completely. It means you are part of our line now. Ethan blinked. Like royalty. The tall sister stepped forward. More than that. You are now a protector of the royal blood. A guardian. A partner? The youngest sister smiled mischievously and technically. Our brother-in-law. Ethan almost choked. What? The princess's cheeks glowed bright blue. She gently pushed her sisters aside. It means, she said softly, that no matter what comes next, we face it together. Ethan met her eyes, glowing, beautiful, full of trust. Together, he agreed. The ship finally broke through the last layer of atmosphere, entering a sky filled with stars. The view stretched endlessly, a canvas of light. The middle sister touched the navigation panel, approaching the Queen's sanctuary. Ethan stood beside the princess. Your mother. She knows about me now. The princess held his hand tightly. She felt the bond the moment you healed me. She's waiting for us. Ethan exhaled slowly. Great. Meeting a space queen. No pressure. The princess laughed softly, the first time Ethan had ever heard her laugh, and in that moment, floating above the world, surrounded by alien royalty, and an invisible bond glowing inside him, Ethan realized something. His quiet life was gone forever. But maybe, just maybe, this new life was better as the ship soared toward a glowing sanctuary hidden among the stars. The princess whispered one last line. Welcome to our future. Human.